I looked up some traveling puns since that is the theme for today's video, and I found nothing. Though there were some funny ones about passports and like, you don't only need just love, all you need is a passport. And I was like, oh, that was pretty good. Hello friends, happy Wednesday, so very excited that you're here, very excited for another Top 5 Wednesday, and I'll be collabing with Maeve once again, so be sure to check out her video as well. I'll leave a link down below so you can, and today's video is very special, not only because I'm collabing with Maeve, but this was actually a suggested prompt from a Patreon member, so shout out to my Patreon and channel members. I'm so thankful for you guys, and if you are interested in joining or would love to suggest prompts as well, be sure to check out the links down below. We're just gonna have a whole bunch of fun and travel through different manga for my top 5 picks. I originally struggled and then I was like, whoa, wait a second. I was like, I know traveling manga because I guess I was thinking originally, what manga do I have maps? And I'm like, not many, and that is sort of what I wanted to base my picks off of if I knew that they had a map. Now, I think all of these but one, I definitely know for certain there is one, but I didn't know where all of the maps were in the manga that I chose. But the first manga that came to mind, let's go ahead and jump right in. For number 1, I am saying Yona of the Dawn. This is such an amazing traveling manga in the sense that Yona, I mean, we know from the beginning of this story that she has basically been exiled. She's been kicked out. Some bad things went down and now she's on the run for her life. And so as things happen, try to keep the spoiler free, she is traveling with these incredible other characters and she's really gaining an understanding and a knowledge about her people, and especially through a different lens, that she's seeing that how she loved her father and thought her father was amazing and was a great, I don't know if he was a king. Was he a king? Pretty sure he was a king, but that how he ruled the land she thought was really well. But as she's getting to know the people and see some of the devastation that's happened and the results of different feuds within the family and wars, that the people don't speak highly of her father. And so I really feel like this is a really great manga that has the characters traveling to different countries at that, and we're seeing huge battles and almost straight out wars of, I think at least in the later volumes, I'm not up to date. I have the latest volumes, but I'm not caught up to date in reading them just yet. So no spoilers, please, no spoilers. And so yeah, I think that there has been like a huge war that is happening in the latest chapters, and I'm hoping everything's okay, because as you're traveling with these characters, I mean, maybe not as much in the later volumes, but honestly, the traveling arc or that part of the story is my favorite of Yona of the Dawn. I love seeing Yona with all of the gang here and their, what was their nickname? It's been a busy morning and I had to go actually out of town, so I didn't plan to film today. I feel so discombobulated. It's something with food, the very hungry gang. Hold on, I gotta go look it up. I was close, I knew it was with the food. It's the Dark Dragon and the Happy Hungry Bunch, and I loved that chapter, that moment. And ultimately, I just really love how Yona is getting to know so many different tribes. She's seeing people that live very differently than her and just gaining a new experience, a first-hand experience that has brought her joy, but pain and heartbreak as well. And probably a lot of other mixed feelings in between. And seeing how she has thrived though because of this experience has definitely been very, very satisfying. And again, I miss that they're not traveling as much, that they're just, you know, at the palace. Or when I last read, they were at the palace. I mean, I believe Yona was going somewhere with Suwon, but it was not the same as it is in the earlier part with the Happy Hungry Bunch, and where everybody's happy and laughing and they're working through things, but everybody ultimately is happy. I really hope the ending of this series will be happy and we can go back to those finer days of everybody smiling and the smiles stay around, not just for a chapter or two, but for multiple volumes, if you get what I mean. So I definitely feel like this is a really good one, a great fantasy if you're looking for a heroine or hero, because there are heroes, to explore the lands and different cultures and have danger and intrigue, some romance. That's really good. I mean, I really feel like Yona of the Dawn has a little bit of everything. For number 2, this was the second manga that came to mind where there's definitely traveling, because when the heroine travels to a certain place, it is my favorite. But I don't know if it has a map. That was the one manga I could not remember, but that is Snow with the Red Hair, and I wanted to feature this volume, volume 16, because this is when they are Shirayuki, and I forget the young guy's name, but when I love him too, he's so great. But anyway, it's when they go to Lilius and they go to this place of thriving knowledge and research, and I loved it so much. It is hands down my favorite arc. Apparently, I like traveling manga after like gushing about Yoda and now Shirayuki. I really love that. I really love seeing characters have to go to a different place and experience a different culture and a way of living and how they see the world through a different lens. I mean, we know that Shirayuki is not from Clarines, that she was from a different place, and that now she is really discovering plenty of new places, because this isn't the only place that she travels to. She also, I don't remember the name of it, but I know that she does travel to this place where this guy is like lord of the land in this particular arc, and they're working through things and trying to solve this mystery, which was a really good arc. They're also going to be traveling again in volume 27, whenever that should release, and I'm excited to see how things go down in that volume because of where the volume 26 ended. But Shirayuki definitely has plenty of adventures. While I don't feel like maybe traveling is like a major theme in this manga, I do feel like it is prominent though, because the story isn't staying in one city or one country, that she's going to different places and learning and expanding her knowledge, which was something that she was given as a task as a herbalist to go, I don't know how much I should say because that would go into plot, going into spoilers here, but things involving Lilius and some glowing objects that she has been given a task to with stuff involving that. And so she is going to be traveling, I assume, a whole bunch more, and I do enjoy seeing really just how her view has changed and ultimately her just gaining knowledge. I really, really love that. I know not everybody loves the series because Zen and Shirayuki, I do believe the story is a romance, but they are not together for a large part of this manga, but I just find it so satisfying to see the world through Shirayuki's eyes and how she is growing as a herbalist. Like, that is a huge reason why I love this manga, but hands down, I definitely do love when Shirayuki and Zen are together on page, but it is really satisfying when they're going to different places. And this one definitely, especially this arc, had some danger that I was like, whoa, this is like the most graphic out of all the other volumes thus far, and it's been the only one that was like that. But you definitely know that there are some things, some dangerous things that are on the line right now. So it is so wonderful. I definitely feel like if you enjoy Ghibli story or Ghibli movies, Ghibli vibes, that this one definitely has that. For number 3, I'm really, really excited to feature this one. I'm so glad I actually did not talk in depth about it about 2 weeks ago in my first collaboration I did with Maeve. And so for number 3, I'm saying In the Name of the Mermaid Princess. We did a mermaid manga theme, merman as well. We did a theme video about that, and I didn't feature this one because honestly I thought Maeve was. It's funny, if you watch Maeve's video, she thought I was, so it was pretty funny how that was. But I'm glad that I saved it because there is actually a map in volume 3, and this series is wonderful. I have loved every volume more than the last. Why it makes such a good pick for this prompt though is because our main girl here, Mio, she's actually traveling. She is on the run as well, just like in Of the Dawn. The biggest reason being she's not a human. She's an unhuman. She could turn into a mermaid, and so she is on the run, and she is like Yona as she's going out into this world, though Mio is very much, well, I don't know. Yona was pretty naive in the beginning as well, but I feel like Mio is even more naive than how Yona was. And Mio is even surprised when she finds out that people in her country alone, that they have stolen things just to survive, and seen the open discrimination against other Inhumans like herself. But each volume has pretty much taken place in a different country, in a different land, because right now they're trying to get Mio to a certain prince. They've had to detour quite a bit. So there was a map in this one. I would also say the setting has been very different too in each volume, because in this one we were in the castle, in volume 2 it was sort of like the ocean a little bit / forest, and then now we're back in the forest in volume 3, and then volume 4 we're sort of in the city. But with each volume you see a different culture, a different way of living, how Mio is seeing an entire new world, and it's been really incredible, though very heartbreaking at the same time. I mean, at the beginning of volume 1 we definitely saw that discrimination of the Inhumans, humans and how horrible it was. I mean, there are two young children who have fox-like features. You could sort of say they are very similar to July. They are being taken away from their mother. Well, they had already been taken away, but she has like something to remind herself of them. I think it was a little bit of their fur in like a little bottle, and somebody was trying to take that away from her, because if you have an unhuman child, they're like, you need to never think about your child again because they're not human. And I mean, like, as a mother, I'm like, that is outrageous. Like, no, you just can't do that as a mom, I feel like. So that was really triggering for me, honestly. But as Mia travels and she goes to like another city, like in volume 2, she sees that unhumans are not treated with such discrimination, that they can actually use their powers and their abilities openly, and they can actually even start a business where they sell their abilities to gain money. And she was shocked by that. Meanwhile, in volume 3, though, near the end, we see that unhumans can live freely among humans, but they have to wear like a collar. And it's, in my opinion, another form of discrimination. We're going to learn more about that, I should say, because there was a really interesting thing that happens, and we get like a snippet of information as a reader, and I'm like, I want to know more. I want to know more. So I have loved this volume. They're on the run currently again, and they're probably going to be on the run again, because I really don't know how they're going to make it to their ultimate destination. I feel like if you want a heroine where she is very naive, but she has a beautiful heart and a huge heart that really wants to see unhumans and humans live in harmony, and her seeing that her dream's not impossible, but it's not super easy either. And as she goes to these different countries and getting to know her people and getting to know other people that aren't even under her kingdom or under her father's ruling, she is gaining, again, more knowledge. And it's been so beautiful seeing her thrive and grow and really work through her own feelings and be able to question, well, and other people have questioned, including July, have questioned, is your dream even worth it? Could it even be a reality? And I feel like that question has come back too often, maybe not like blatantly, but like as like a underlying theme that we see it questioned often, and how Mio continues to say yes, yes, and yes with her actions. It's such a beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous series. I really, really enjoy it, and I would highly recommend it. For number 4, I'm very excited to feature this series. Another one that instantly came to mind because there's a map from like, it's a 4-volume series, but volumes 2 through 4, there is always a new map at the beginning of the story. So it is very much a traveling manga, and that is Nicola traveling around the demon's world. This is a 4-volume series. I recently read it, talked about it in a reading wrap up because I was sick one day and I was struggling with a lot of different dizziness. So like the only thing I could do was like lay in bed, and I couldn't even be on social media or anything. So I attempted to read this series because I thought it would be very light on my brain, and it was, because it's very episodic. But it's episodic because they are traveling to so many different places. Like, this is just one of the maps, and I love Simon. He is amazing. And it's basically our young heroine here, where she's with Simon, her traveling companion, and they are trying to make money and learn different things as they go along the way and grow closer ultimately, because the ending is so heartfelt. I definitely very much cried at the end. I didn't see which one, like, oh my goodness, this little girl right here, when they travel here, is so fun. And I feel sort of like looking at this picture with each character that you see on the map, then you can know that is definitely a place they're going to go, and a chapter takes place, or yeah, takes place with this character being like the, like for a side character, they're getting the most focus. I loved it so much. It was a blast, and the art style is so cute. And this was a really fun chapter because they are traveling, I think they're trying to find somewhere to stay or something like that, but our main girl ends up infusing this like flute-like thing, I guess you would say, with magic, and there was some things that go down with that. It was very, very cute. Also, this guy right here, I love him. He's so grumpy. He's so grumpy. So there are so many shenanigans that happen, and every chapter is pretty much taking place in a new place. It may be in the same country, but you're not going to be seeing the same characters, as you can see here. And they go all over the place. I mean, in volume 4, they travel across the ocean, and they go to places that even Simon has never been before. Volume 3 was very similar. They didn't go to the ocean, but they go to like this haunted mansion. It was just a really, really fun series. Again, lots of traveling. I mean, traveling's in the name of the title, so you can definitely assume that. But I guess if you want something where each chapter's setting is different than the last, this is very much a story for you, and you don't mind episodic chapters because many of them don't have a correlation together. I mean, they may like reference what happened when they were at a different city, but it's its own new, fresh kind of thing. I really, really loved it, and would just highly recommend this one as well. I had such a blast reading this. And for number 5, last but not least, I am so excited to feature this one because I really feel like this shoujo manga is so underrated, and that is A Reincarnated Witch Spells Doom. I have talked about it before, saying saying that this is like, I wouldn't say the ultimate shoujo fantasy series, but I have not read a series, shoujo series specifically, that has this much world building when it comes to the setting itself. We have a map, I think it's in like volume 3, and literally each place has been very different. Like, I don't have volume 5 yet. It came out yesterday and I'm so crestfallen because volume 5 is supposed to take place like at the ocean or the beach. It's about our main girl here. She can only say like 2 spells, so to speak, and one of them, oh gosh, I didn't even look up what it's, oh, explode and perish. She's also this caller for these dragons, and so she's going to meet them, and she's gone like to the mountains, she's gone to the volcanoes, and now she's going to like the beach slash ocean. And I am so excited because the story itself is really good, but I'm just amazed at how we're getting such different settings, and each way of like transportation has been very different than the last. And I've deeply loved it. Like, it is a fantastic series. It's like they place you, the reader, in there, and you're like, okay, this isn't like a European setting or inspired European setting, or it's just like we're just at the mountains or the forest. Like, no, they're making this world larger and larger as the story goes on, with reference to the previous dragons, to the previous places that they've been. Love this series. The traveling is just so good. And I guess when I think of traveling for this, it's just a change of setting and how things are taking place in that particular place or land that she's in. It's so good. I would highly recommend. I do feel like this is one more of the, like, I guess it is technically isekai. She was hit by Truck-kun and now she's in this other world, but it feels like a very heavy or large fantasy world that I just feel like I have not read anything quite like this in other stories. I mean, the only one I would say that comes close to that, but it's not a traveling manga, that I just did a review of last week, is Secrets of the Silent Witch. That one made me giddy because of the world building. This one made me giddy for similar reasons, and I've just been so excited to see, like, where is she going to go to next? What is she going to do next? Like, that is what has honestly kept me very invested into this story and seeing what's going to take place. I really enjoy it. I would highly recommend it if you're looking for a character, again, to travel just like all of the other heroines and other characters here, but you want something where, like, okay, I don't want just them to visit this different setting or visit this place. I want in-depth seeing them interact with the people, and not saying like Yona and them haven't. I'm not saying that, but I feel like with Yona and Mio, there's more of a focus on them interacting with people, and you could say that for this series, that our heroine here, she's interacting with the dragons, but I just feel like there's more to this series that you see the world building. Like, the world building is connected to our main heroine getting to know these dragons, getting to know these people. Like, they feel like they go hand in hand. So I really love this. I could just speak so highly of this series, and very much hoping that I can get volume 5 because I need to know what happens next. It's so incredibly good. But I would love to hear from you, friends. What are some manga that you know of that have maps that you think are really cool, where they go traveling? Because apparently, again, I really like that. And don't forget, if you want to see other manga where the heroines and the heroes travel and may have maps as well, check out Maeve's video. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!